the point is what I've always admired about anyone pursuing their passion and dream, and also as a career, which adds this other element of the stakes involved, is no net, poor van travel, like the cliches of everything, but so true, where to make anything happen and have any success is so hard and requires so much perseverance. So I don't know if there's something you want to add on to that, just from the comedy sort of improv experience, or trying to theater, like all that.
Yeah.
I view these worlds as kind of all the same. They have the same challenges, whether it's photography or video or movie making or singing in a band, or like.
Yeah, I mean, I often would say, you know, I'd have lots of friends who were teachers or, you know, engineers, and you know, the default thing from a lot of my friends in those fields would be things, you know, they'd say things like, you know, it's so cool that you're following your dream, you know, like it must be wonderful, you know, it's so like rose colored, and I would often just say, I'm stressed about everything you're not stressed about, like. Everything that gives you calm, your stability, your consistency, your reliability, I don't have any of that, and I stress about that all the time. And for the like 45 minutes when I'm on stage, yeah, that's my bliss. Like that part's great, and everything else.
Well, it's a grind. We were joking during our photo shoot before. It was just like taking the most insecure people fundamentally, which makes them kind of creative and different and have a different viewpoint, and then putting them in the most insecure financial situation of all time, because there isn't a traditional path, there isn't a traditional paycheck, there's not health care guaranteed at the other side, like it's all this stuff, but out of that alchemy comes magic, you know. And I think that persistence, that's why I've admired following the comedy project now, which we'll reset here in a minute in terms of like what's happening currently, but just the grind. And you've seen many artists, so whether it was people from Detroit going on to Veep, and you know, Tim Richardson having his own show on Netflix, and you're like, or not Tim Richardson, Sam Richardson on Veep, and then Tim Robinson, on you know, he's got a sketch comedy on Netflix. So you know, seeing that success, and again, it's possible, but it requires perseverance. And even like getting a part-time job to help offset this or that can derail somebody right out of doing the
I mean, that's why I ended up in Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
I mean, so I was living in Grand Haven, and there
another
were like,
comedy mecca, by the way. Great choice.
Yeah, known for its Pronto Pups and comedy. And the musical fountain. So yeah, I was living in Grand Haven, and I was doing a fair amount of like commercial work at the time, but I would have I had like a few people in a row say something like, yeah, we didn't call you because we didn't know if you'd want to come into town. I'm like, the 40 minutes into Grand, and finally I was like, I gotta move to Grand Rapids. I gotta at least take that out of the equation.
The Full Exposure Podcast is brought to you by Dr. Peter Hahn and University of Michigan Health West, in appreciation of the creative and artistic visionaries who enrich our lives through cultural connections.